Hey guys, today is Thursday, April the 2nd, and it is 5 o'clock in the evening. And I want to give you guys an update as far as what is going on with the SBA applications, specifically the PPP applications. So I sent you guys an email and a video message yesterday morning telling you, hey, the applications are out. We don't know for sure what documentation is required. Start gathering it, reach out to your bank. And so you guys have started that process. So that's what we're dealing with now. So I want to give you an update of where we are at. So we received information this afternoon that SBA is now saying to the SBA lenders that the application that everyone has been using is probably going to be changed. So when you go to the SBA website and you look up the form on their website has been changed from what I sent you guys, and it now says sample across it. So I have a really good feeling that SBA is not prepared to process these these applications tomorrow. So there's a press conference going on right now. And a few minutes ago, Secretary Treasurer Mnuchin got up and said, yes, we're going to be ready to process these applications tomorrow. And I wasn't watching this press conference, but my phone started blowing up with texts and emails. Hey, White House briefing says that we're going to be able to start processing these applications tomorrow. And then I hear that the reporters were like, hang on, I don't think the applications are even ready. So this guy is not connected with what's going on with the boots on the ground. SBA does not have their systems and processes in place. And if you want to verify that, ask any bank here in Texarkana. They don't know what documentation they need to require from you. They're giving us a list of potential documentation we can gather, but they're not ready to process these applications. So you can continue working on gathering out the documentation. You can fill out the PPP application that you have right now, but beware, it's probably not the final application. My advice to you is, first, deep breath. So this has been a very stressful roller coaster of a ride for all of us. And I don't think we're going to get these applications in tomorrow. So a lot of my clients have been calling and texting, and guys, me and my team, we're working hard to get you everything you need to get these applications in ASAP. But I don't want you to turn your loan packages in and then be incorrect, and then you have to redo everything, or they kick them back out because they're wrong and you have to start the process over, and it ends up taking longer. So let's wait until we know that these forms are final, okay? So I'm going to answer a few frequently asked questions that I'm getting. Lots of questions, but a few of them deserve to be addressed here. Okay, so I'm asked, when I'm calculating the monthly payroll cost, do I include gross or net? It is gross payroll, not net. And to that, you're going to add health insurance benefits paid 100% by the company and the retirement contributions paid by the company, by the business. Another thing I have been asked about is, do we include 1099s in payroll? So let me take a few minutes and explain what's going on here. Let me back up. So legislators write bills. Let's just take a tax bill, for example. Legislators write that tax bill, and then they hand it to the IRS, and the IRS interprets it and applies it. And the IRS interpretation and application may not be exactly like the people who wrote the bill intended it to be. The bill that was passed a couple weeks ago that had the FMLA expansion and the emergency sick leave, when the IRS interpreted that, they added a lot of things to it that wasn't specifically spelled out in that bill. It's the power of the IRS. Now, in this particular situation with SBA loans, the IRS is not interpreting it. So the legislators wrote the bill. The SBA portion of it got handed off to SBA, Small Business Association. So SBA comes in and interprets that bill and applies that bill. They take the form of the bill and they create this PPP application form. In the text of the bill, it says that independent contractors can be included in payroll cost. But in the form that SBA put out as a sample PPP application form, it does not say that independent contractors can be included in payroll cost. So we wait until we get the final form from SBA and see what they do. So I'm having a lot of people asking me, hey, I pay my guys, my people, through 1099s. I've heard that's going to be allowed. According to the bill, it is allowed. According to the PPP application that we're looking at now, it's not allowed. So we have to wait and see. For example, whenever the legislators wrote the bill, they said that our average monthly payroll cost was going to be calculated based upon the 12-month period leading up to the application date. So if you applied on April 1st, that would be the 12-month period leading up to April 1st would end 3/31/2020. So that would be the three ending quarters in 2019. So that'd be second, third, and fourth quarter in 19, first quarter in 2020. So you would take those 4 quarters and calculate your payroll cost. But that's not what SBA said in the application. So in the application that they have right now for the PPP loan, they have that you calculate your average monthly payroll cost using the 2019 payroll. So that's one example of how when the SBA interprets a bill, they may change it from what was actually written in the bill. Don't shoot the messenger, just explaining to you, if you're filling out an application now, put in those 1099 amounts. If that's how you pay services only, if you pay some of your people for services only, not materials, but services only, you can put in those amounts and supply those 1099s, and it may or may not go through. We don't know. The text of the bill said it should be included. The SBA PPP application that we're working with right now does not include it as payroll cost. Okay, I'm going to get off that soapbox. I went through a long explanation, but I wanted you to understand the reasoning behind it. Okay, so for my clients, I told you yesterday, it feels like it was a week ago, so much has happened since then, but I told you yesterday, PPP applications are out. Call your bank, see if they're SBA lender. If they are, ask them what documentation they're going to need and start gathering it up. You guys went into overdrive. You did an amazing job calling your banks. Banks really don't want to mess with these loans, honestly. That's a whole nother soapbox I could get on. But if your bankers are acting hesitant about it, it's because they're not making any money on it, and they really don't want to mess with it. But so you guys are started gathering these documentations. What I'm seeing so far is you're going to need the 4-quarter 941s for 2019, possibly the W-2s and W-3 for 2019, the 2018-2019 tax returns. If you don't have the 2019 tax return, then you're going to need 2019 financials. Every bank is a little bit different, but that list of items is pretty consistent between banks, bank to bank. Some banks are not requiring that much. Some banks are requiring more. You feel like you have to get blood to get these loans. So that covers that. Now, what can we do to help you, and what will our fees be? So let's go over that. I'm going to switch over to my screen here. So this is my engagement letter. In the email that I sent out yesterday, I noted that we were considered, the CPAs are considered agents if we assist with the loan application process. So I found out that that is not necessarily true. I reached out to my professional liability insurance, wanted their stamp of approval before I do that. And they said that that's not the way they wanted us to handle it. They wanted us to be considered consultants, so you guys can pay us separately outside of the application process. And we're not signing an application for any of our clients. If we were an agent, we would have to sign this SBA application right along beside you, and I did not want that. They do not want us to do that. So here is my engagement letter. I will be attaching it to this email to you guys. So it goes through the process of when you get this engagement letter. If you want us to assist with this PPP loan application process for you, I have to have this form filled out and sent back. So here you're going to put the date, the name of your business, authorized business representative, which is you as the business owner or officer in the business address, and then you're going to scroll down here to the last page, and you are going to sign it. You're going to put your name, the business name, and the date. Now, what are you signing? That's always good to know, right, before you sign a legal document. So you are saying that you want us to assist in the PPP application process. So we're going to help you gather up the documents that you need, advise you on what's the best case for you, the EIDL or the PPP, just the EIDL or just the PPP, countless hours on the phone, texting and emailing each one of you guys, talking about gathering these documents, which bank is the best one to use, etc., doing these videos, that sort of thing. So ultimately, it's your decision of whether you want to get the PPP and whether it's in the best interest of your business. We will assist you with the document gathering process. However, you have to provide us with the correct information. Now, if you're an ongoing client of ours, we have your payroll information probably. We have your tax returns. We have your payroll tax reports. We probably have your financial statements. So we're gathering that from all our internal processes. If we don't have that information for you, then when you give it to us, you're verifying that information is correct. We will calculate your payroll cost that will determine your maximum amount of your PPP loan. We'll calculate that for you. We have an internal Excel document showing you how we calculated that will help show the bank how we calculated that and reference each piece of supporting documentation. Okay, so we have all of that. We can complete the application for you, but it's your responsibility to review this application and to sign it and to get it to the bank. That is your responsibility. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know the risk that you're taking. This is a loan, and you understand that there is a forgiveness calculation at the end of the loan period, at the end of the 8 weeks. You have to go through that forgiveness calculation, and you have to spend these funds correctly in order to get this loan forgiven and it to truly be a grant. Now, why am I warning you? I think this is an amazing deal. I think this is some great free money out there for a lot of my businesses that are hurting, but I want you to know what you're getting into, and I want you to know that you have to use these funds correctly, and we're not responsible for how you use these funds. Because we assist you with this process of applying for this loan does not mean that we're guaranteeing that this loan's going to go through first. It does not mean that we're guaranteeing that this is going to be forgiven for you. It's your responsibility to use these funds correctly. I know I shouldn't have to say that, but I do. It's a Sue Happy world. Pretty much everything else in here is standard, but I do want you to read everything, make for sure you agree with it, sign it, send it back, and then we will begin the process of collecting all this data for you and filling out this application, okay? Now, we've already begun this process for a lot of you guys, but I'm not going to do anything official until we have this form signed, okay? So what are our fees? Our professional fees are going to be billed at a regular hourly rate of $250 per hour with a minimum of 2 hours. So there is a minimum of $500 for us helping you apply for this PPP loan. If you want to do it yourself, feel free. But if we assist you with this, it's going to be a minimum of $500. If it's more than 2 hours, it's going to go up from there. For many of you guys, you're going to be getting $50,000, upwards of $150,000. Some of our clients are going to be getting $350,000. So the return on investment is amazing. But I just wanted to be crystal clear with you guys up front. So if you have any more questions, let me know. As always, I'll keep you guys updated as we go. Thanks.